Yo, yo, what's up, party people in the place to be? This is your boy, Richard Freeman.
Richie.
Back with another video. Today we're covering a very important topic for all my street riders, park riders, BMX riders, anyone that needs a tool out there. We're going over some multi-tools today. These aren't all the multi-tools we have in stock, but these are some of my favorite ones. Some of the coolest looking, some of the easiest to use, and some with the best features. So starting off, man, we got this here Odyssey travel tool, I think is what this is called. Pretty neat. Comes with a 17mm deep socket for all my boys that like to get pegged out there. Comes with a 15mm for your pedal wrench. It also comes with an open-ended 17mm if you're a goofball and you like to run those weird Odyssey pedals that use 17mm spindles. Also comes with all the other basic shit, 8, 6, 5, 4. You don't really have to use a 4 too much, but I think it's pretty cool that they included that. And just making sure there's no extra shit stuff down in here. Nah, I think that's about it. Pretty basic tool, but it does come with everything you need, and we'll get into using that shortly. Next up on the list, we got the Simple Approach. This is actually a really nice tool. This is the MERRITT TRIFECTA tool. It's got a 17mm deep socket, and then it's got a 6mm with a recessed 8. You can kind of only use that for like a top cap or some cranks, but it's still nice that they put it in there. I do like that you just have that added bonus of you have an 8mm down in there. It's a good tool, and then you got this little leverage bar that slips over so you can get your wheel pretty tight. Yeah, I mean, it's a good tool. And then finally we have the fucking crazy overkill piece of machinery here. This is the Shadow Conspiracy multi-tool. Now this bad boy comes with a pedal wrench, a bottle opener, a hammer, a chain breaker. Let me bust the rest of it open. Okay, let's continue. I'm gonna sit down actually because there is so much contained in this thing. This itself has way more than you would ever think, but we'll come back to this. So this that just fell on the floor is our little bit retainer. So you need to use your 6mm, your 5mm, your 1/4 inch, your whatever else that comes in there. You're gonna want to slap this right on this end here, and then you put your bit in there, and it goes. It works. Here we have our 17mm relatively deep socket. If you're stuck in the past and you run 4-inch pegs, this will probably work for you. We'll see how well this fares when we get to my pegs. It also comes with the handle for the chain tool, I believe. Yeah, so this is how you get your leverage on the chain tool. It's also got a little added tire lever on the end. I don't really know what this...
Is it a spoke wrench?
Yeah, maybe. Probably a spoke wrench, actually. It's a really weird looking one. Another tire lever, though. But you got all your shit down in here. You got a 5mm, a 6mm, a 1/4 inch, which is actually very handy dandy for all my little profile boys out there. We got a 5.5 for those stripped bolts, and we also have an 8, and then the little chain tool guide pin. So you got some cool shit in this tool, man. No biases, no nothing. I'm gonna be fucking brutal. I'm gonna be harsh. I'm gonna be rude. I'm gonna be disrespectful, and most of all, I'm gonna be me. We're gonna pretend I'm in the streets and got myself a flat tire conveniently on the front. Let's bust it off.
Let's bust it off, y'all.
Okay, so first fault is with the stand and not actually the tool. Odyssey travel tool, wheel removal. First complaint I noticed right off the bat, this bolt is in a really uncomfortable area. I get there's nowhere else they could have put it, but if your wheel is really tight and your hands are hurting, you're gonna have to push down on that bolt with your palm, and it's not gonna feel so good. Okay, so wheels off. Tool's definitely got some good leverage. It's about the same size as like any full-size 1/4 inch ratchet. So now if I really did have a flat tire and we were gonna go super in depth and actually take my tire off, I would point out that there's no such thing as a tire lever included in this tool. Use the 15, probably wouldn't recommend it, but you could get away with it. All in all though, you really just gotta not be a bitch, take that shit off with your fingers, grow the fuck up. It's got good peg clearance. I've got 4.5s on. Before this I had on 4.75s, and I have there's no doubt in my mind that this tool would be able to handle the 475s. Feels like I can get my wheel pretty tight with them. Yeah, I'd be satisfied with this tool if I had a flat tire. Let's see, next up on the list, I somehow got another flat tire, and we're gonna try to mess with it with the MERRITT TRIFECTA tool. So I think my first thing about this tool that I would be really stoked on is that Odyssey travel tool isn't really much of like a pocket-sized tool. This thing you could definitely feel, I could definitely see myself carrying this around in my pocket. It comes with these convenient little straps that you can also use to like strap it to your seat tube or something like that. Yeah, and I mean I had enough leverage. I put my wheel back on pretty tight with that Odyssey tool. I busted it off just fine. Good tool. Once again, no tire lever, but you're in the streets, be a man, use your hand. So let's go ahead, pop this sucker back on, put my tool back in my pocket. I can go right out and hit the streets, man, I'm ready. No way. Are you serious?
Probably be able to get that warranted, considering it just happened on camera.
Yeah, and at least a customer didn't buy this one. I'd like to think that this is a one-off and this wouldn't happen. So I guess we're gonna grab a different tool and resume the test. Now I'm in the streets, my wheel's about to fall off, and I have to get home or back to my car or something. I have to get to work on time. Okay, let's get a different MERRITT. I'm gonna chalk that up to being a manufacturing defect. Nothing against MERRITT, nothing against the tool. It's a great tool. We love MERRITT. It just stuff happens. Stuff happens. It's the only way to put it. You can see I didn't even get to this point in tightening my wheel when that broke, so we would definitely chalk that up as a faulty product. This one seems like it's handling the abuse just fine. Cool, yeah, and I feel like I was able to get that pretty tight. Okay, shadow tool. I've already disassembled it. I've already got my 17 on. Now this is the little chubby stubby guy we were talking about we might run into some issues with. Okay, so I'm running 4.5, which is pretty much the standard for today. 4.5 inch pegs is the standard, I would say. And we're touching. So if you're running Fit OG pegs, MERRITT GFEs, and Claw Venoms, anything that comes in longer than a 4.5, you are 90% full, unless you have really long axle nuts. And I think female front hubs are also standard for today. But I mean, tool's got good leverage. Takes them off. You know, this is a nice quality socket, forged metal. This actually does come with tire levers, which is very convenient. You can take your tire off with these tire levers because that's what tire levers do. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't actually need to. So I'm just gonna put my wheel back on. Okay. All right, I mean, it's on. I feel like that's probably the tightest I was able to get my wheel with any of these tools. This thing's big, it's meaty, it's long. When you're tightening down, it's also got this pedal wrench up here. You can use your palm and like really get that push down. Another thing, common out in the streets, you just put your brand new seat on a couple days ago. You did a fast T-bog and boom, now your seat's loose. That sucks. Everybody hates a loose seat. Okay, so we're here. Powers BMX, my seat is loose as hell. Just did a fat ass toboggan. And I got 30 tools I'm gonna use to tighten them up. So let's start it off, keep it in the same order. Got my Odyssey travel tool here. Trusty old fella. My seat's loose. What the hell am I gonna do? Stick my Hold on, what? Okay, well if you have an Odyssey travel tool and you are running a fat seat this just in, you are fucked, bud, because your 6mm is not gonna reach. I'm gonna keep trying this because there's no way that actually just doesn't reach. No, there's a way. Yeah, it just doesn't reach. That sucks. So I guess unless you're running a slim seat, this ain't doing it for you, buddy. Let's go right back. All reliable MERRITT tool. Jesus Christ. Okay, so while this is working and seriously violated, we might have to blur this. It does indeed reach, and I can get my seat tight. I got some pretty good leverage. I mean, you don't need to crank your seat down that much. Just gonna break it loose again. But I mean, it's tight, it's on there. Breaking it loose one more time. Boom, yeah, it's done. Onto the shadow tool. I guess I won't be riding for the next 30 minutes because I gotta get the 6 out of my shadow tool. Okay, so this is also severely violating my seat, but it does work. Now my seat's in there, it's tight.
Oh, this might be a problem. Yeah. Dude, I saw that coming.
Motherfucker. God damn. You know what they say, sometimes you gotta tighten it to loosen it, so we're gonna flip it back the other way, and this is stuck in my seat. Oh, shit. Well, now I can't tighten it again out of fear. Okay, that.
MERRITT wins this round.
Yeah, MERRITT killed this round, dude. MERRITT murdered this round.
Coming back strong in the second quarter.
Yeah. What if it just snapped right there? Now that I tightened my seat up, I hopped on my bike and I realized that pretty much my whole drivetrain is loose. So I'm gonna take my pedal off real quick, give it a thorough inspection, and put it right back on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so good leverage for taking a pedal off. Boom. Pedals that use a 17 millimeter boss rather than a 15. The Odyssey does include an open-ended 17 millimeter, so you'll have no issue. You just gotta swap it out. But I have the shadow pedals, so I have a 15. While we're here, might as well see if my sprocket's tight. My sprocket is a 6 mil, but if you have an older profile, as I've been informed, you could have a 5.5. In that case, we would be fucked. Looks like I'm able to reach my bolt just fine. Crank it down, seems like it's all right, nice and tight. Cool, Odyssey gets a pass on the drivetrain. I think only concerned with the MERRITT, if you're running pedals like the Odyssey Twisteds, anything that doesn't have an Allen key on the backside, you are utterly and completely full. If your pedals use an 8 mil, you might be okay, just depends because this 8 mil is a little deep. Yeah, I mean, once again, my pedals are fine. They have a 6 mil on the back, I think. Oh no. They have an 8 mil on the back. Oh! Oh, hold on now. I think we're boned. So then in this instance, you're gonna wanna call your homie who has an Odyssey travel tool and be like, yo, the f my pedals are loose, come through, dog. While I'm waiting for my boy to pull up, notice my sprocket's loose. So I'm just gonna reach down in here. Looks like I have plenty of access, plenty of leverage. Boom, my sprocket's tight, just like that. I'm set. So this one, similar to the Odyssey, has a 15 mil open-ended wrench for your pedals. However, it does not come with that added option to throw a 17 on there. I guess if you're super dedicated to running 17 mil pedals, you could grind this out. But then all your friends would probably not want to hang out with you anymore, and they'd go find somebody new who has an Odyssey travel tool. Boom! Look at that. Okay, so it seemed to get it off without too many issues. Seems like it worked pretty well in cracking that sucker loose. Looks like my pedal's a pedal, and I'm gonna put it back on. Obviously, if you have a tool, you will have your hands, hopefully. A really easy tool to work with your pedals on. There's a lot of weight behind it. It stays grounded on the pedal boss. Definitely a solid tool to take your pedals on and off with. Your sprocket is completely off of your bike, which you do have the tools to take your cranks all the way off with this, but who the fuck wants to do that? You can't reach your sprocket bolt. That sucks. Oh well, hope you don't do any sprocket bashes. or crank arms or anything that could knock your sprocket loose. I hope you didn't get a new sprocket. I hope you didn't grease your sprocket bolt. Okay, I hope it's covered in rust and it's never coming loose, because this bitch is not getting that shit off. You gotta call up your homie with the Odyssey travel tool again. Maybe some of you guys are gonna be a little prick and be like, well, they didn't fuck with the stem, they didn't fuck with the seat clamp, they didn't fuck with the back wheel. And I'm just here to tell you all 3 of these can work on your stem just fine. They all come with a 6 or a quarter. Actually, if you have a profile stem, you're in luck with the Shadow, because it comes with a 1/4 inch. If you have a profile stem with any of these other ones, you're kind of boned, but I guess you could strip your bolts out. The only ones that can remove Odyssey power ends are going to be the Odyssey tool and the Shadow tool. Same with most metal bar ends. They mostly use a 5 or a 4. The MERRITT tool doesn't have either of those. Your back wheel is the exact same as your front wheel. It's 2 bolts. If you can't figure that out, I don't know what's going on with you. These will all 3 work for your back wheel. They'll all 3 tighten your seat clamp bolt. It's just a 6 mil. They all have 6 mils. Definitely forgot to mention, this Shadow one's the only one with a chain breaker. I didn't forget to mention that. I said that at the beginning of the video. But if you have any chain issues, Shadow. So I guess we'll start off. Odyssey travel tool. Odyssey travel tool, $35. That is a much more of a steal than I thought it would be. And you get the convenience of having a lightweight, small tool that can fit in your pocket if need be. Will comfortably fit in any frame bag, backpack, sling bag, anything you carry with you. You can throw this guy right in there. It's not big, it's not cumbersome, and you can use it for just about anything on your bike. I give the Odyssey travel tool, I give it a B. Just for the fact that it didn't seem to work with my seat. If you have a slim seat, you won't have this problem. Yeah, if I really wanted to do that, I'm sure I could have. Also, this little bolt is kind of uncomfortable, but it is a rounded head. It's not the worst thing in the world. I can get over that. MERRITT TRIFECTA tool. We had that rough instance with the first one. Once again, we're just going to chalk that up to a faulty product, because this one made it through the rest of the testing. It works on everything. Obviously, I can't take out my par ends. I don't have a chain breaker. It didn't seem to work for my specific pedals, but that is due to the fact that I had an 8mm on the inside boss. I'm gonna give it some extra points for its lightweight, its portability, its ease of use. This is definitely the easiest tool to use. If you can't figure this out, come on. It comes with these cool little convenience straps. You can put it on your crossbar, your top tube, your down tube, your tube, your U-tube, your red tube, your bike tube. This is a hard one to grade. It comes at the same price point as the Odyssey tool, I believe. I'm gonna do a little double cheese in on that. The MERRITT tool actually comes in about $45. I forgot that literally everything is going up in price. No offense to any of my MERRITT friends, I love MERRITT, but I think I'm gonna give this one a C-. It's a little expensive, and I know stuff right now, everything's getting more expensive. I'm sure the Odyssey tool will be $45 within the next 2 weeks. But you know, just keep campaigning for higher minimum wage, and $45 ain't shit to you. I mean, it's a good tool though. I'm still stoked on it. If I had to buy any of these 3 tools, it would definitely be this one. Just because of portability. I don't like to carry a bag, unfortunately, for today's testing purposes. Just because I did have one break, and it is a little bit more on the expensive side, I'm gonna have to go with C-. Shadow something tool. No, it doesn't. It's just the Shadow multi-tool. So this Shadow multi-tool, I mean, this thing is fucking packed with features. You got a chain breaker, you got a pedal wrench, bottle opener, hammer, down and on and on. I already went over all that in the intro. 65 bucks, definitely well worth it. Heavy as a mother father. If you're a backpack guy, say you're like Donnie, you're the filmer, you always got your bag on, so regardless, you got a heavy bag. I wouldn't have a problem throwing this in my camera bag. Actually, I might, because it could probably break everything in there. I think my biggest complaint about this is that the 6 is in an awkward spot. So if you have like a flatland stem, like if you have a little 40 mil stem, even with my stem, this pedal wrench can impede things. It can get in the way. Other than that though, I mean, I don't have too many complaints. It's heavy, it's bulky, it's big as shit. It doesn't reach your sprocket bolt. The 6 gets stuck in your seat. If you have 4 3/4 inch pegs, you probably won't be able to use this. It's 65 bucks, that's a lot of money. You know, I think I'm gonna split this one up. I give this an A for features. It's got everything you could possibly need. I could do my job pretty much with this. Weight, F, it's heavy as fuck. That's what the F stands for. F stands for heaviest. Convenience, price, C+. All in all, man, I'll call it a B-. It's got this stupid where you tighten this and then the chain breaker comes loose, and then you loosen it and the chain breaker gets ridiculously tight. So that's annoying. It's got some weird engineering. That's about it. All these tools go by a Colt pocket tool. Any three of these can get you out of a tough spot. These can definitely all be the difference between riding home and walking home. Yeah, man, if I had to say I'd pick any of them, I already said it, I'd pick the MERRITT one.
Richie's pick.
Odyssey tools, probably the most convenient, most bang for your buck right here, no doubt. Yeah,
Winner.
I guess that's about it.
Nice.
Thanks.